And let's make a drawing, and they don't have to be fancy, but basically it kind of looks like this. Your heart is heart-shaped, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Why is it heart-shaped? And it's heart-shaped for a really cool reason, something I taught you in third grade. So your heart has a section down here, and it's got a wall in between the double pumps. Remember I told you double pumps? So you have, over here you have what the right side, so this is the right side of your heart, and over here is the left side of your heart. Now remember, you're making science drawings, and science drawings are just for you. And so here is a valve. Now a valve is like a door. You know, a valve is like a door. It lets things go in this way, but they can't go back out that way. So a valve is like a one-way door. And this one here is actually called the tricuspid because it's got little three parts to it. Now there's a hole right here, another valve where the blood goes out. Let's go a little bit higher, and it's thinner here. And here is the top part. You have a top part and a bottom part. Now, I like to remember this because a house might have a vent down at the floor. So a vent is down here. And if you got a nice house with a window in the ceiling, that's called an atrium. An atrium's at the top to let the sun come in, and a vent's at the bottom to let things go out. So our heart has a right atrium up here, right atrium, and then on the same side it has a right vent, or actually it's a ventricle, but I get carried away, a right vent. So if that's one pump, we have another pump over here, thick wall at the bottom. Now this only has two, and this is called a mitral valve, but you don't have to worry about too much for that. I'm no expert on this, but I do know there's some cool stuff going on here. All right, so put some holes here for things, the blood to get out. So now we have the left atrium over here. You know, remember, atrium is at the top of your house, and the vent, or the ventricle, the vent is at the bottom. So here we have the left vent and the right vent. I'm sorry, we have the left atrium. Left atrium. Atrium on that side, atrium's at the top, ventricles at the bottom, right and left. So in between that is this thick muscle, and there's a name for it. It's endocardium. That's some fancy names for this stuff. They're not that fancy. If you learn a little bit of Latin, you'll learn what these things mean. Endo, inside, pericardium, kind of cool. And there's a lot more that you can learn about this. So this is the thick muscle. And since that's a muscle, we got two pumps. We got a pump this way and a pump that way. And they have a name. This side over here is called the pulmonary circuit. Pulmonary, which means lungs. This is the lung circuit. And hey, you guys, if you saw my lessons on Monday about circulatory systems like electric circuits, they go round and round. So the pulmonary or lung circuit, we're going to make that in blue. So that's going to be our blue, representing blood that does not have any oxygen in it. And it goes from right atrium to right ventricle, and then it gets pumped out here all the way up to the lungs. And you know, you have two lungs, so we can put them both sides here like this. So I like to see how this model goes. So now it goes to the lungs. That's the one pump. On the other side, you have what's called the systemic, or the systemic, if you want, circuit. And the systemic circuit means, hey, let's send it to our systems, to our body. So it comes back from the lungs, it goes here, it comes down to the left ventricle, and then it's pushed back out through some giant arteries or aortas into your body, into your head. So this will go down into your body, into your head. And at the same time, blood is coming back through your veins from your body over here. And those are the two systems. And that's why we use red and blue to show the double pump.